Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty interesting. Lamborghini and how they're getting ready for these potential U.S. tariffs if Trump gets back in office.
Right.
And our main source for all this is an interview Bloomberg did with their CEO, Stefan Winkelmann.
Yeah.
I think people might hear tariffs on supercars and think, oh, well, that doesn't really affect me.
Right.
But this whole situation, I think it gives us a really good look into how the global economy works, how these big luxury brands think, and, where all the tech investment is going in the future.
Absolutely. And to really understand this, you got to realize the U.S. is like Lamborghini's biggest market by far.
Oh, really?
It's over a quarter of all their sales globally. So
Yeah.
any policy changes coming from the U.S. are going to hit them pretty hard.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Winkleman even said they've put together like a whole task force to figure this tariff thing out, and he's in meetings about it like every day.
Right.
So they're definitely not messing around.
No, definitely not. What do you think that tells us about how seriously they're taking this?
I think it just shows that they're not waiting around. They're being proactive. They're trying to get ahead of whatever might happen.
Right. It's about being prepared.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're gathering all the info they can, looking at different scenarios, and then figuring out how they're going to respond.
Exactly. It's smart.
Yeah.
But what I thought was really interesting is that their competitor Ferrari has already kind of hinted that they might raise prices if these tariffs go through. Winkleman, on the other hand, he didn't say anything about Lamborghini's plans.
Interesting.
So that leaves us all kind of wondering what their strategy is going to be.
It does make you wonder, right? There could be a few reasons for that.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, maybe they're trying to figure out a way to absorb those extra costs themselves so they can keep their prices competitive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or, maybe they're just waiting to see what the actual details of these tariffs are before they make any decisions.
Right. Got to see the fine print.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like strategic ambiguity,
Yeah.
Keeps their options open.
Yeah. And it's important to remember, too, that Lamborghini being part of Volkswagen AG,
Right.
they already have to deal with a 25% tariff on all the cars they bring into the U.S.
That's right.
This isn't some, what-if scenario for them. This is like their everyday reality right now.
It is, and that's a really key point.
Right.
They've already been dealing with these tariffs, so they've got experience with this.
Right. They know the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Winkleman actually even compared it to how they handled those supply chain problems during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
They learned a lot from that, and they can use those same strategies to deal with any disruptions that these tariffs might cause.
So they're adaptable.
Yeah, that's what it shows.
That's a good quality to have.
It is.
Now, you might think, okay, well, Lamborghini, they sell to like super rich people.
Yeah.
So those customers probably don't even care about economic ups and downs, right?
You'd think so.
But Winkleman actually said that even his high-end clients are still affected by these market changes that tariffs can cause.
That's interesting, isn't it? It really challenges that idea that luxury goods are somehow immune to all that stuff.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that.
Yeah, me too. But it shows that even at that top level, there's still a limit to how much people are willing to pay.
People don't like seeing prices go up.
No, nobody does.
And here's what I think is really interesting.
What's that?
With all this uncertainty about tariffs, Lamborghini isn't backing down from their plans for the future at all.
Really?
They're still investing tons of money in new technology and innovations, like their new electric two-door, four-seater GT that's supposed to come out in 2029.
Wow, so they're still going full speed ahead with that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So what do you think that tells us?
Well, to me, it says they're thinking long-term,
Right.
These tariffs are like a short-term problem, but their vision goes way beyond that.
And their commitment to electric vehicles, that's a big statement.
Oh, yeah. It shows they know where the car industry is headed, and they're not going to get left behind. And they're actually looking into how they're going to build these EVs, too, like whether to expand their factory in Italy or build a whole new one.
Now, that's an important decision.
Yeah, it is. It shows they're serious about this electric future.
They're putting their money where their mouth is.
Exactly. So the big takeaway here, I think, is that even these super exclusive industries like these luxury supercars, they're still tied into global trade and these policies.
Right.
What Lamborghini's doing, it shows how far-reaching these decisions really are.
Absolutely. And it makes you think about the bigger picture, too.
Oh, yeah.
Lamborghini is being very careful about how they respond to all of this. So what does that tell us about the economy as a whole? And what could these tariffs mean for innovation and what people end up paying for stuff, even for, the most expensive products out there?
Yeah, it's all connected.
It really is.
It's a great example of how everything is so interconnected in our world today.
I think so.
I think that's a great place to leave it.
Yeah, that's a lot to think about.
It is. Thanks for joining me.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you all next time on The Deep Dive.
See you then.